You're listening to the BOTB Football Show with TJ Weber.
Let me tell you something. I'm on fire. You better listen to me. If you want to win this week, listen to TJ Weber.
Zach Zook.
I think that they're going to come out and just absolutely shit rail the Eagles.
Big Webb.
Where's the beer?
And Nick Yale.
God, that was huge.
And welcome into Cafe Telegraph, 2650 Telegraph Road for Week 11 of the NFL. TJ Weber, Zach Zook, Nick Yale, Big Webb, back with you for another week. Boys, it's a week. What?
Week 11.
What are you pointing at?
No, I'm saying hello. You announced me. Nick
Oh, I
said
thought you were
hello.
pointing because my headphones, my eardrums are
Hello
bleeding.
there.
I'm bleeding in my ears, Nick. Can you take down my holy crap? Take me down a little bit.
That's better. Take me down.
That's too much. A little bit too much there. Hold on. Up a little bit more.
Take me down a little bit, too.
Up a little bit more on me. A little bit down. A little bit down.
Check,
There we
check.
go. Right there. Okay,
That's
that's
what she
too
said.
much. All right, so we're live from Cafe Telegraph, 2650 Telegraph Road. All right, I just can't do it. Nick. Oh, my God. Go ahead, guys.
And go.
My mic's not on.
Go Blue.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's week 11.
Nick, your mic's on.
And you know what that means, Nick?
Great
week,
start.
Week 11.
Nick, your mic's on, I'm telling you. I'm serious.
Hey,
Did
Zach.
you not?
Are our mics on?
Zach, week 11, you know what that means, don't you?
What's it mean?
It doesn't mean anything. It's the middle week in the NFL. It's perfect.
Okay, well, we can end the show then.
All right, well, I'll do it for BOTB Football Show. Are we all good finally?
This is the best start we've ever had.
This is
think
what, see, I like the fact that we're real with the audience. We don't act like we're anything special. We say,
Yeah,
hey,
we
we're
don't check the
human
mics
beings.
before the show.
Why is,
That's the
okay.
difference.
Nick, I don't know what to tell you. I guess you're off the show today.
Here, interview style.
Interview style. I don't know. Unplug it.
Do we have another XLR cord?
Yeah, unplug it or something. There you go. See that now that works.
Okay,
You
well,
g- you guys adjust.
Which one are you on?
This one.
Number 2?
Check.
You plug the mic.
By the way, you can follow us on at Balcony Brews Pod on social media. This fantastic content.
Where's this going?
This is the bruise on the balcony difference, ladies and gentlemen, right here.
Do we have another cord, I'm saying?
Oh. Do we have another XLR cord?
Plug it and plug it back in.
I think we need a restart on the whole thing.
All right, you know what? I think the audience gets a little peek behind the curtain. We're just
That's
gonna do
okay.
another
You gotta give the audience time to roll in anyways.
Nick, what about now? Oh.
No, nothing.
Wait, that's better.
Wait, I heard something. Hello?
You were there.
Mic check 1 2.
No.
Dude, go get
Absolutely
Go now.
nothing.
One more time. One more time.
Okay. Mic check 1 2.
Oh, it's on. Oh my God.
All right, check.
We're back. We're up and running.
I had some button off. I just okay. We're gonna redo it.
Jesus.
Turn it right down. We're going with the intro again.
You're. I mean. What?
We're literally doing the intro again. I don't even care. We're doing it again.
You're listening to the BOTB Football Show with TJ Weber.
Let me tell you something. I'm on fire. You better listen to me. If you want to win this week, listen to TJ Weber.
Zach Zook.
I think that they're going to come out and just absolutely shit rail the Eagles.
Big Webb.
Where's the beer?
And Nick Yale.
God, that was huge.
And for the second time, welcome in
Jesus.
the Cafe Telegraph, 2650
God.
Telegraph Road. Nick, are you on?
I am
Oh,
on.
we're working, baby.
You're-
We're back.
you're
See
trying-
what you do?
you're
All right,
try-
Big Web, say something in the mic. Make
Good
sure
morning.
yours works.
Good morning.
You
All
can't,
right.
Good
you
morning.
can't, you can't silence me, TJ. Come on, man. I mean, I know
It is impossible.
He wins 1 week. And
It was
he,
collusion by
he,
TJ.
He doesn't want any of my hot takes to be on the air.
This is why being an audio
Bullshit.
engineer would suck. It's one little button that just shuts down Nick's
God,
entire mic.
I can't wait till you're not here next week, and maybe we can actually have a
I
clean show.
can't wait till I'm
for
not here
once.
either. You know, I can
Have
wake up
one
and be the
clean
hungover
show.
guy for once in my
Have
life.
One clean
That sounds
show.
like last week.
It was last week, but I was here. I get to lay in bed and call
Yeah,
it
and
10:29. It's gonna be beautiful.
I mean, you just brought the show down last week. You had sunglasses on. You were not performing well, but hey, you did something right because you got your picks right that
See,
week.
a lot of people.
So maybe you need to drink more, and then maybe that's the key to your success.
That's how I pick, right?
is
I
you-
just don't.
you
I can't
pick
think, so I
hungover.
just pick
Yeah.
randomly. Yeah, that
You
could
just,
work.
like, throwing darts at a dartboard.
I
Whatever
tell you what,
land on hits.
a lot of people, especially in the podcast form, if you're listening to this on the podcast, they should cut the first one, but we like to leave everything in. So
Sure.
it's like the audience gets to see all our crap.
It's a bruise on the balcony difference.
That's the
It is.
proof
There's nothing
of
better.
balcony
Complete
difference.
honesty. That's where it's at.
100%.
Complete transparency.
That's it.
We're here for Week 11. 11 of the NFL, guys, live from Cafe Telegraph, 2650 Telegraph Road in St. Louis, Missouri, the best smoked meats in town. We have some fantastic sponsors that always bring you the content every single week. It's Cafe Telegraph. It's Kay Roberts from Remax Gold, Family Finance Mortgage, Sarah Barron over there. They are the best. They have helped me and my wife buy our first home in St. Louis. So we're very, very excited. We're in there. We're comfortable. They were always there for us. They were always calling in, always, especially too at night when it wasn't, a work time. It was 7 p.m. I text them and say, hey, don't worry about, answering tonight. It's fine. Answer tomorrow morning at 8:30 when you get in. No. They go 7:05. I get an answer back. 7:05. So it's K Roberts Remax Gold 314-409-4113. Sarah Barron Family Finance Mortgage 314-537-1282. And Nick, our last but not least final sponsor is St. Louis Distillery.
St. Louis Distillery.
You like them, don't you?
Boy, do they have some smooth spirits, boys.
They do.
If you're looking for a good
The
one,
smoothest.
It's called Brew Vodka. That's what we like to drink. Brew, B-R-U, vodka. It's smooth. It's distilled from craft beer, which we very much enjoy, and it's cheap. It's $19.99, so very affordable, and it's delicious. This tastes like a premium vodka for a cheaper price. It's excellent. And if you want to visit STL Distillery, go to 755 Freedoms Road, Suite B, St. Charles, Missouri, 63303. Tell them TJ and Nick sent you from Brews in the Balcony. You get a free tour and you get a free tasting. You get both.
Tasting.
You get both.
Tasting.
And you can pick up a bottle of Brew Vodka for a family or a friend for the holiday season. And if you want to visit
It's the holiday season.
online,
holiday season.
STLDistillery.com. Great job. I also have
As a Packers fan, singing already.
I also have Christmas songs stuck in my head for all you snowflakes out there called Christmas songs, not
It
holiday
is
songs.
Christmas. You're right.
God, there's a blizzard coming, I tell you what.
T-Web, before we go any further, can we talk about Zook's dog this morning? Just for one
Dog.
second.
His
the
dog.
Oh, my dog?
Yes.
By the way, it's not an underdog pick. It's a real dog.
No, it's a
No,
real
yeah.
dog.
Hey, first, I have 2 points about my dog. First of all, she was a couple weeks late, but I entered her into the CBS pool. So if she ever wins the week, I'm bringing her in.
Oh, nice.
For an
For the
appearance.
crown.
You
Yeah.
should bring her in
Yeah.
anyways.
I'm bringing her in because and
What's
this is
her
how
name?
this is how we do it. Her name's Lulu, and Jordan, my girlfriend, lovely girlfriend,
Yeah.
sits there every week and has treats in her hand. Do you like the Saints or the Falcons? And we pick all the games, and Lulu beats me most weeks.
That's right.
So in addition to that, though,
Naturally,
I walked in
naturally.
about 10 minutes before the show,
I
and
had the under
yeah,
at 10:15, and you screwed me on it.
and I blamed it on my dog.
He says I
and
was waiting for the dog to take a leak. It wouldn't come back inside.
But what's crazy is our
I had
dog
money
is
on this.
Our dog's a shit
did.
machine, guys.
shit
She
machine.
sleeps through the night,
A shit
but the thing
machine.
is when she decides she's up and she's over it. I mean, by the time we're leaving our bedroom to start the day, there's already poop in the kitchen.
Oh,
You
no.
hate to see it.
No,
You
there's
hate to see
not.
it.
Sounds
What
like
about
my
a doggy
house.
door now?
Yeah.
What's
well,
wrong
we
with the
can't do
doggy
that.
door?
The house was built in like 1920.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
All
you should
right.
install a doggy door in there.
Now
How
about a
You got a
diaper?
fenced-in backyard?
yes, but she has escaped that as
Oh,
well.
She's one of those dogs.
She's one of those.
How old is she?
She's 2, so she's got a lot of
Ah.
energy. Whenever we let her out back, it's all about chasing the rabbits
Right
more
out
than
of
it
a
is
cannon.
about taking a whiz.
All right,
Yeah,
I know what I'm getting Zook for Christmas: a doggy diaper and some Clorox.
There you go.
There you go.
That's
A doggy diaper, or I thought we were talking
Well,
doggy
yeah,
doors.
Is that a thing?
Who's shitting on the floor?
yeah.
She really doesn't pee in the house. It's just the poop.
No,
and,
nice.
and she poops outside too, but it's
Don't
like
really want a choice there.
she
I don't-
poops like 3 times a day, and it's on the tile. I tell you what, like for a
It's on the
2-year-old
tile.
It's
dog,
on the tile.
you know,
It's not in the
I don't
carpet.
have many
I-
complaints.
Try to get shit out of the.
You know, it's not that bad.
Try to get shit out of the carpet.
Just
That's
tell her to
tough.
stay out of the coffee cups, and I think it's good.
She's a little dog too, so I mean, they're not like gigantic foot-long shits.
All
here.
right.
They're
My
not
God.
extra long shit. It's small.
This is a football
we're talking
show.
about
We're talking about foot-long logs.
Sorry.
Hey,
We see where
My
Zook's priorities
God.
lie,
all
so.
football guys are big poop guys too.
All-
It was one and the
We
same.
see where your priorities lie.
Where do you think that
can't
prognosticating
show up.
happens?
Can't show up
Oh,
on
God.
time. For
yeah,
the
on the
show.
pod, Big Web. That's absolutely right.
Can't show up for the show on time because you got to take care of your dog.
Now,
Okay.
look, I got to ask you a question. You said she's
Okay.
in the pick'em. Did she have a week that was rough? So that's pretty good, I thought.
You know that commercial
outta
where
here.
You gotta be kidding me.
You too. You know that commercial where the son
are
is
your
like
father's
becoming
son.
his he's becoming his father, like
Tell
with
me
the
about it.
thermostat and the draft and stuff. That you just had a moment. Like
It
that
gets
with
worse.
The big web jokes.
He has this joke that he does at restaurants where the lady comes over, and if you want, like, your leftovers, she goes, "Hey, do you want a box?" And Dad puts up his dukes like he's going to box. And I was at a local establishment, and they come over. They go, "Hey, you want a box?" Before I even thought about it, I do this. And I look down at my hands. I'm like,
You're like,
"Holy shit!" On my father.
You did
Like I just
it.
stared at my hands. And the
Oh,
girl
that's
goes,
bad.
she does one of those. Wow, that was good.
Oh, shit, that was
like,
good.
please?
She was
Yeah, but she didn't mean
she
it.
Was
Well, it's one
flattering
thing
you.
when like a guy in his mid-20s does it. I mean, when
Oh, yeah.
when it's
Yeah.
Big
Right.
Web doing it and it's just a dad thing, you kind of just like, all right,
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
sweet.
Different, yeah.
You kind of expect
Walk
that, but when
away
it's a guy in
quicker.
his mid-20s, you're just like, whoa.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Get out of here.
How many kids do you have?
Right, yeah, pretty bad.
TJ's in full dad mode already, man.
Not
Tell you what,
yet.
Doesn't even have a kid or an animal. He's already a dad.
Yeah, I'm not yet. I'm getting there.
You rocking the dad 11s yet?
I do enjoy the dad jokes.
The dad
The dad 11s.
You don't have a choice.
White New Balance?
Oh, I did have white New Balances before in like middle school.
Nice.
Just because I got a hand. It's free shoes. Like you don't not take free shoes. So anyway, we got some football games today.
Hey.
It's
Hey,
week
we did.
11 in the NFL. Guys, storylines. Man, I don't think there's anything to talk
Nothing
about.
to talk
Nothing
about.
happened.
Definitely
this
nothing
week.
happened on Thursday night.
Nope, nothing.
The Browns and the Steelers, very clean game. Obviously,
All around.
two teams that don't hate each other. Definitely aren't in the same division. And no, the complete opposite. Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph. I mean, that whole deal, probably one of the most serious things you'll see on any sports field in any stadium and arena. Something that you hate to see. Basically, if anybody missed it, you live under a rock or you don't like the NFL. But Myles Garrett, in the last seconds of the game, the Browns defensive end takes the helmet off of Mason Rudolph. As they were kind of wrestling, Rudolph did try to take his helmet off, and they're going back and forth. But at the end of it, Garrett takes the helmet and at one point swings his helmet.
You got
Mason
the
Rudolph
video?
does not have...
Can we do that?
I don't think we can do that. But Mason Rudolph doesn't have a helmet on, hits him square in the head. Your thoughts? I mean, guys, I think this is one of the craziest things we've ever seen, and I honestly wouldn't be shocked if we don't see Myles Garrett for the entire next season because of this.
Right now, I think he's suspended for the rest of the year and
Yeah.
Definitely.
postseason.
And they said indefinitely, too, so they
Yeah.
haven't basically ruled out suspending him for next year is how I understood that.
Right.
It's my whole take on the whole thing is, I mean, you get trash talking on every play in the NFL. You can't take it that far. You cannot use a helmet as a weapon. I don't care who you are.
100%.
Yeah, I think it's the extra suspensions that were handed down to the other players that were involved were, probably sufficient. And what Myles Garrett got, the indefinite suspension for the season, and then long term, he may not play in the NFL ever again. Some people think it'll blow over. I don't think this one's blowing over. He's going to have a bounty on him by the other teams, especially when they play the Steelers again the next time those two match up. Because and so it's almost a risk factor even putting him out on the field. I know he's a great football player, but he's going to be targeted and it's going to be dirty moving forward whenever he does come back. But Mason Rudolph deserves at least a 3-game suspension too.
Yeah,
he got
agreed.
off scot-free, and that's absolute
Yeah.
bull the way
See,
he handled himself.
I
there.
mean, he definitely did handle himself well, but 3-game suspension, I don't know what
he brushed that off like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. It was Bush League what he did to me. He played the victim card so hard in that. Mason Rudolph, you watch the tape, started the whole thing. He gets sacked.
Yeah.
He goes after Myles Garrett, which is what set him off. Tried to go after his helmet, kicks him in the crotch, and then that's when Myles Garrett pulls Mason Rudolph's helmet off. So, and then he goes up to the podium acting like, oh, I didn't do anything. I mean, honestly, there was a joke on Twitter that says the Steelers actually got the worst suspension was Mason Rudolph not being suspended
saw that too.
because his 4-interception performance in that Browns game was
Yeah.
absolutely miserable. So he's excited because he had the shittiest game of his life, and then this happens, and now he gets to play the victim card. But he absolutely should get at least
Yeah.
a 3-game suspension, in my opinion. for that.
I agree to a game or something. I mean, you can't swing a leg and try to kick somebody in
Yeah,
the nuts.
yeah, it's-
Absolutely. So
Sure.
there's
Just
something
for
to be
inst-
had there. He
yeah.
needs a penalty for it. I don't know about 3 games. He needs.
For instigating that, what led to that thing, I think 3 games would be.
I thought I was going to get crushed for this, and I was about to outline everything you just said because I agree with
Yeah.
you. And I don't want to condone what Myles Garrett did. I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah, no way.
You can't be swinging your helmet at people, especially if they don't even have their helmet themselves. He swung Myles Garrett helmet. Myles Garrett swung Rudolph's
Mason-
helmet at
his
him.
own helmet.
Yeah, that was,
So you can't do that. I'm not condoning what he said, but I want to temper the take on it because in the moment, Schefter had the tweet that just said assault. And everybody's
Yeah,
like,
he was over.
he should never play in the NFL again.
yeah.
Like we didn't see Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan rip each other's helmets off like 10 years ago, and it developed into Ollie Frazier on the middle of the football field. And we remember was it FAU or FIU when we were growing up? We must have been like 10, 12 years old, and they had multiple guys had their helmets off, swinging it in the brawls.
Yeah.
Like it's again not condoning what he did. I think that the whole take of he should never play football again is a little bit misguided. I think you need to get the domestic wife beaters out of the game before you get Myles Garrett out for swinging a helmet of a fight that he didn't start. Big Web to Nick's point.
I'm with you, but you give him a strong, harsh penalty, which is the rest of the season and postseason is a huge penalty.
Yeah, that's a massive penalty.
Huge. So I mean, I would have probably
Browns
been
are making the postseason. Let's be real.
I would probably I'd probably been happy with just regular season, right? So he's got that penalty, and now he's learned his lesson, and you also as a league you stop stuff like this happening.
Yeah.
So I think that's harsh enough right there.
I think the NFL got this one right, especially, but
I do too.
They've gotten so much criticism for not suspending big name players, and Myles Garrett is one of the best defensive players in the NFL, and that's at the center of this situation. So they could have taken the other way and gave him a 4-game suspension or a 2-game suspension, and people are like, oh, they got this wrong, that's not enough. But like I said, I think even when he does come back, there's going to be some level of concern there for the Browns and for the NFL, because there is going to be a target on his back, much like Vontaze Burfict and some of those other guys that have had a track record of doing dirty plays, that they will get targeted down the line, and that's something you have to worry about if you're the Browns and if you're the NFL.
Yeah, and it's a rep thing. I think that they did it right. They ended his season. He's done. He's not going to play till next year. And when he does play, he's not getting the benefit of the doubt on any roughing the passer calls.
No chance.
I think the punishment of that will follow him too. And I do think that the results of the action matter as much as maybe they shouldn't. Like Mason Rudolph was fine.
Yeah.
Nothing happened because of it.
But if he had gotten a concussion or had serious injury, I agree that you suspend him more for that. Right. And I know that you're saying the outcome shouldn't dictate the circumstance.
That's what they're saying. It's intent to injury. He was swinging to hit him in the head as hard as he could. And by the way, this isn't any of us four swinging a helmet. It's Myles Garrett. He's one of the strongest men probably in the U.S. This guy's a tank. I'm saying that we got a little work to do. I'm saying we got to get back in the old gym.
We would have been knocked out cold, and we get clocked by that helmet.
But I'm saying, what's crazy about it too, you think about the situation, everybody breaks down the entire play. If he doesn't swing that helmet, this is not even talked about.
Right.
This is not even a thing anymore.
No,
Mason Rudolph and him maybe get 1 game apiece, and then you're like, oh, whatever, we move on. But the fact that he swung that helmet, now everybody has to break down the entire sequence of it. And by the way, hats off to Baker Mayfield after the game, not defending his guy, saying, that can't happen. That's a terrible way to look at it. We can't have that happen. Basically, a lot of quarterbacks saying, oh, I didn't see it, or I didn't have a good look. He was like, no, that was bull. That was absolutely terrible, and I can't believe he did that. So
we got a quick comment from Ben on the line. It says, trying to beat the 11 a.m. deadline. Saints minus 5.5 against Bucks. Thoughts? We're not picking that game.
Do not take the Bucks. I know Ben is a true Bucks fan. I know he probably wants us to say Bucks plus 5.5. You got to take the Saints. You absolutely have to take the Saints in that one. I cannot believe that number.
This guy's fighting the pool deadline. I don't even play the game. I stay off the whole game right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch that one either.
That's
pick another game, man.
3.5 different scenario. 5.5 too much for me. On that
He's
one.
playing close to the sun, too. You got 5 minutes.
That's
say your internet goes out. You're really in trouble now. We've been there before.
You're not kidding.
Point on the Browns and the Steelers situation. Do you think it's overblown that they're talking about criminal charges on Myles Garrett?
Yes.
It's not going to happen anymore, though.
Yes, I do.
Mason Rudolph, he's not even going to be.
That's the part of it that I think is ridiculous. It is what Baker said in your point. It's unacceptable. We can't have that.
Right.
But you want to lock the guy up for swinging it. Come on.
Well, did you see that video of those college students, though? They took the helmet and hit the wooden chair, and it cracked the wooden chair in half.
That was crazy.
That was pretty wild.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they took a helmet. They did a full swing like they would. And also, this guy was not as big as Myles Garrett, but it cracked the middle of the thing. It was hard. Helmets are hard, man.
Helmets are a real deal. Look how heavy they are when you're playing. It's just on your own head.
Well, Rudolph got lucky, too, that he hit him with the bottom of the helmet, not the top.
Well,
that would have been way worse.
PFT commentator from Barstool said that he tried to just put the helmet back on.
Yeah,
I don't know what the big deal is.
Well, he got pretty close to doing just that.
Can you imagine that
He was
video?
just trying to put it onto his head for him. It's all good.
Yeah, just
good.
absolutely brutal, man. Absolutely
Yeah.
My
brutal.
closing
Not a
thoughts
good
on this
situation.
is if Mason Rudolph fought as hard in the game as he did trying to fight Myles Garrett,
wow.
the score wouldn't be what it was.
Wow. Zook,
Wow.
Like I said,
coming
Mason
fired.
Rudolph
Or
is,
his lineman, by
Yeah,
the way.
same. Same.
Firing.
Yeah.
The offensive linemen are curb stomping Myles Garrett while he's pinned down.
Yeah.
Why don't you try a better job protecting
Should've-
him next
could
time?
have blocked him
Yeah,
earlier.
it was not good. Not good all
Sharon
around.
says, as I said, it's the intent, not the lack of injury. Because if he does hit him square and he goes to the hospital or something, this is a way bigger deal. And then you
Yeah.
do talk about him never playing. So,
True.
yeah, it doesn't matter that he didn't get hit. It's the fact that if he did get hit harder than he did, he could have got hurt because that was a full swing. So, I mean, that is part of it. Everybody's back and forth. It's a good discussion because
Yeah.
everybody's kind of on the side of Zook and Nick, kind of more on the side of me and Dad. It's like, I know the guy shouldn't be locked up. But you can't
Yeah,
do that.
it's-
That is a weapon. I mean, it's like it's not as hard as a bat. But that's
the whole
pretty
league
hard.
would be,
Yeah.
I mean,
the league would be chaos if you allowed. So if you didn't put a harsh penalty,
you
and they have
absolutely.
They have.
And he already admitted he overreacted, obviously,
Yeah,
after
right.
the game. But you just can't let your emotions go. Like, I'm going to swing this weapon. Like, again, it's a helmet, but it's like they're hard, man. Like, anybody that played football knows how hard a helmet can be.
It's a weapon.
You know, so I mean, I'm agree with Zook and Nick. I don't think he should be locked up, but
No.
suspended for the year and maybe half of next year. I think it's at that level. But hopefully, once all these punishments get through, we can kind of move on and start worrying about football again. So
There you go.
another thing that's sort of outside of the NFL, Lions at least for now, Colin Kaepernick. So anybody that has been following this situation, Kaepernick was asking for a workout, and the NFL set it up for this Saturday. Again, you guys will know more than I do. I know he changed it last minute, like
Yeah.
within the hour.
3 hours before
and then
the location
seven
changed.
teams showed up, I believe.
Yeah, 24, 25 were scheduled to appear at the Atlanta Falcons training facility in Atlanta where the workout was being held on Saturday, and all the teams show up and then learn that he had changed the location to a high school in Atlanta where then 7 teams showed up to watch him work out because there was a discrepancy on a liability waiver and he wanted to use his own wide receivers. So he changed the location. And another big point that he made was he wanted full transparency, and the league was not allowing any media into the scrimmage, and he wanted the media to be able to be there to film and watch the workout, even though he had a statement after the workout, but did not answer any media questions, but he wanted the media to be able to be there. The NFL basically said, hey, some of these NFL teams need protection and not have the media there when this workout's going on and so forth. So there was a little bit of discrepancy on like the reason he changed it, but
Okay, so this guy, I mean, you have to, in any business meeting, when you set a time, a week, what was a few days ahead or a week ahead this thing was
Yeah.
scheduled. So I don't know when he got the indemnification language or the language that he didn't like, but he certainly didn't get it, right before the thing.
Yeah, it was-
So he probably got that a couple days prior, and then to change it that late, you're hurting your own self, man. You're hurting. Some teams aren't going to be able to make
Missed
it
out on
because
15 teams not being there.
The
Yeah.
new location, the high school, is like an hour away. It was like an hour away from the other one. And the NFL report said they got notice at 2 o'clock or something like, or 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was only like an hour difference for all these people to, gather up their shit and go to the other place and watch this kid play. So it was just like, come on, man, this is hurting you. Keep it lined out. I don't know what all needs to be done or what they were trying to accomplish by this event, other than this man getting back in the NFL because of his talent. I don't know what else other agenda was going on, but I think that's part of the paperwork and all the things that the circus they were putting together on the thing. Just go there, throw the football, throw it to some receivers. When you're asked for a comment, say, man, I'm ready to go. I've been working out. I'm ready to get back in this league and play hard. That's all you got to say. It's all you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I don't know if he'll get a shot. To be honest, and I'm being serious here, I think there's a lot of teams that wanted to show up that just want to cover their ass in the
Yeah,
media.
for
Like,
sure.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because of all the stir that's going on. And I don't want to get into who believes what and whose side you're on. I mean, this has been a situation and a story for 3-4 years already. I'm not worried about that side. I'm
Well-
worried about the fact that it is a story
Yes.
and a lot of negative sides to it, where if an NFL franchise doesn't show up to the workout, some might be like, coming at them like, oh, why didn't you go to Kaepernick's thing? You know what I mean? Because that's unfortunately
Yeah.
what's been going on lately. So.
I think there's some teams that are obviously concerned about the off-the-field ramifications of if they brought him into the locker room and whether it would be a distraction or not. I mean, political beliefs aside, it's going to be a distraction one way or the other, whether you ask for it or not, because the media is going to pepper him with questions.
It'll be
about,
Tebow-esque.
Yeah, and a lot of teams just don't want to have to deal with that. But you're absolutely right. Some teams like the Patriots are just showing up just to say, hey, we were there, even though they might not have any intention, because he's a good quarterback. There's a lot of teams that could use him. The Bears could use him. The Panthers could use him.
Bears are getting Cam. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and so, I mean, there's a lot of teams that could use him as a quarterback because
Bears need Cam.
He showed he's still in shape. He can still obviously throw a football. I think the workout that he did was a little, wishy-washy because he wasn't actually getting, hit by any linebackers or no blockers. He's just throwing down to wide open wide receivers. So you can see that his arm strength is still there. But then even in the media, he didn't answer any questions. He made a statement and basically called out the NFL and said that, hey, I'm ready. Don't run away. And it's like, okay, you're not really helping yourselves. You should stand there, say your statement, answer the questions from the media, take questions from the media, and then kind of move forward.
Especially if you're the one that wanted them there.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, he knows what he's been doing for, and he stands up for his beliefs or whatever, which is awesome, and has the backing of a lot of other professional players. But you have to read, the NFL is corrupt, but you have to understand it from another perspective that, hey, you got to give them something here. And I understand the NFL teams want their protection by not having the media there, but if the media is going to be there, at least answer the questions.
Yeah, and to TJ's point, I think you're right. This has been going on for so long. Anybody that follows football has an opinion on this already, and they're not changing it.
Yeah.
So, that part of it, I don't care about. But the interesting thing about the workout is there were a couple things that were amiss. The league set up the workout, which is unprecedented, basically. It would be a team that would set up a workout for you, typically.
Right.
B, it would typically be on a Monday or a Tuesday following the game, because if you want to sign the player, then you have 5 days to get them in your facility, bring them up to speed on your offense, and let them sift through the playbook, get a week of practice underneath of them before your next game. So the fact that it was on a Saturday was very odd because you have college football going on Saturdays in the fall. What NFL front office is sending anybody of importance to an NFL free agent who hasn't played in 3 years? Those are just facts. What NFL front office is sending their top guys to that over LSU Ole Miss, over Alabama Mississippi State, over Baylor and Oklahoma, or some of these other games, Michigan State? What you're not going to do that. I wouldn't do that.
No way.
You are too busy to do that on Saturday. So I think that he was right to be upset about how quickly it was thrown together and the fact that they had it on a Saturday, because I wouldn't have liked that either. But at the same time, then he probably feels trapped in a box. Well, I can't say no to the workout, because then the narrative becomes, why does he really want to play football again? Does he really want to play football again? And that's become the narrative anyways, because he switched the locations. Personally, I've been exhausted by the whole thing.
Yeah.
I want him to get signed by a team so we can see if he's a good
Real
football
deal or
player.
not.
So we can
or
prove
not still.
Do it on
if
the
he can
field.
still do it.
Because I think that
Absolutely.
there's been some revisionist history with him, because his last 2 years was not very good in San Francisco. So I'm really interested to see one way or the other if he can come back and play and help a team, lead a team to the playoffs.
His job and then
Right.
was a backup, and then
Yeah. He's got to see what a hit is again. He's got to get out there and play.
that's my thing.
Well, until you take an NFL hit, I mean, you're not going to know if you're going to be ready or not.
You're
He's
not-
also a guy that was a mobile quarterback, so he's going to be moving. And you take a pop from a big-time linebacker, and then you see if you still want to play.
You're
what I mean?
not proving
So-
anything by using your own wide receivers and calling your own plays and saying, hey, run down the field and catch me.
Yeah.
I can throw a ball 60 yards.
I do want to see him.
There are 100 quarterbacks out there that can do it that
Yeah.
aren't on a
Right.
team.
I do want to see him get signed, just because I want to.
Yeah,
I do want to just.
yeah.
I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
Absolutely.
It's a good storyline.
Your thoughts are welcome, 314-877-8597. You can also comment here on Facebook Live. We are live from Cafe Telegraph, 2650 Telegraph Road. Come on down. We'll be watching all the games all day long, and it's the best place, obviously the best food, the best wings in town. We keep talking about those smoked par fried wings because, my God, I can't get away from them. They're just so good every time I come here. I just have to get them.
I'm gonna start placing my order while we're ending the show,
yeah.
so that way I can get them as soon as I get off.
There you go. That's the way to do
That's
it.
That's a pro move.
Before we get into picks, guys, real quick, I was randomly like watching old clips of like Rudy, like one of my favorite football movies of all time. And real quick, just like I'm curious what you guys have with your favorite football movie of all time. What do you got?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure, Zook.
Go for it, Zook.
I don't know if anything will ever top Remember the Titans for
It's a
me.
good one.
That is my all-time favorite.
Stole mine.
It's such a good film. So quotable too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different ones that we always used to quote at high school football practice. But another close favorite of mine is Friday Night Lights. I think
one.
that's another one that
It's up there.
I remember going to college football camp when I left school to go up to Wisconsin for like training camp, and I remember I watched Friday Night Lights on the way up there, and I was
So
just
good.
jacked, ready for football season. So those are probably my two favorites.
Nick, what do you think?
I mean, how can you go wrong with Draft Day in 2014? That was great. No,
Kevin Costner.
You kind of took mine with Remember the Titans. I also like We Are Marshall in The Blind Side. I'm big True Story kind of guy. So
Day. The
Draft Day.
ending to that movie.
So bad.
Honestly, I don't mind spoiling it.
It was so
the guy
bad.
the guy traded away his number one pick. Or traded up for the number one pick, traded like his next 3 years of first round picks to get the number one. Then he ends up trading the number one back to get what? Like 3, 4, 6 in like the second round or something like
Yeah.
that. Crazy. It was just so like unrelatable.
Not
It would never happen in
But
a million years.
Blind Side and We Are Marshall again, both true stories. I always like the true story movies. I mean, Blind Side just a great story about Michael Orr.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Sandra Bullock is a great actress. Forget who the other actor was in that. The dad. I enjoy him as well.
Oh, that's Tim McGraw.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So it was
country singer.
Very good movie.
The coach
Really
in The
pulls-
Blind Side
really
is funny,
pulls at the
too.
heartstrings. Who's the coach in The Blind Side?
I don't know his name, but
He's in a lot of things.
he is in a lot of things. And he
I don't
plays
know
like
his
that
name.
similar role. He's kind of funny.
Yeah, I have no idea what his name is.
Run the dang ball.
Run the dang ball. Yeah, what do you think? You got? I don't know. You don't watch a ton of movies, but
Comedy wise, The Longest Yard.
Yeah,
was
oh, yeah.
amazing.
Sure.
And I like the Blind Side too. Absolutely. No,
Waterboy
that's
is
a good real one. Those are
Waterboy.
You know,
It is
there's
not
a-
top 5. I love
Really?
Waterboy.
I love Waterboy.
Not top 5.
Waterboy's
Come on
great.
now.
Hey, we're just going to
Any given Sunday. You can do it. Friday Night
You can
Lights. Yeah, I mean, there's so many good ones.
Bobby, I don't want you playing that foosball.
Football is the devil.
Mr. Coach Klein said I could. I like Longest Yard, the new one. I mean, I didn't get to watch the old one, I don't think, but though that one has so many quotable lines with like Adam Sandler, Brucey.
Yeah, there's
you know?
a meme going around. Have you seen that
No.
one on Twitter? The one where Brucey's like, "Why don't you put me at quarterback, huh?"
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
like,
I was all state, man.
"Hit me, I'm open." I got a hike. Throws it like 90
That's
feet
why.
over
Now
his
sit
head.
down and shut up. He like just goes a mile over his head. That one's good. Rudy's great. I mean, I became a Notre Dame fan for like a couple of years when I was a kid watching Rudy. Just
Sick,
really
dude.
good movie. Yeah. Big Notre Dame fan, Nick.
No,
so.
you never made 10D. You wouldn't be smart enough to go to school there.
No, I mean, the thing is, that's why I wore the hat. I wore the bling and stuff because
Yeah,
I knew I
you-
couldn't make
you
it.
just
So
act like it. You just pretend. Get a Notre Dame sweatshirt, wear it around.
if it was between you and me, though, I'd be first class on the way to that. I
Don't
don't know
think
where
so,
you would
buddy.
be.
Don't
You'd
think
be at
so.
South Bend
Here they
Community
go
College.
again.
I'm an Eagle Scout, dude. I got my extracurriculars.
Oh, great. I'm glad Nick had to put up. He's an Eagle Scout. He does that about every week to make sure everybody knows he was an Eagle Scout.
Don't think I've ever done that once in my time on this
Yeah,
program.
I actually didn't even know that you were an
There
Eagle
you go.
Scout.
Oh, I know.
It's
Trust
out
me.
there now.
Zook must not listen to the pod, I guess.
I have a
'cause
gold,
Nick said it
I have
all
a
the
gold
time.
card that proves it too.
Nick, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's
I'm so
nice.
proud of you.
Thank you, TJ. Appreciate it, man.
Longest Yard. So that was a remake, though, right? The Sandler one?
Twice.
Yeah, because they made it twice.
2 remakes.
Yeah,
There's even an older
no.
one too.
The first one's the late great Burt Reynolds, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, because that's why they brought him back for the Sandler.
He played the
but the old coach that used to like
Yes.
won a Heisman at Bama or something.
yeah,
back in
Nick
the
Scarborough
70s.
is what they called him. His name wasn't
Yeah.
that. Nick Scarborough.
There
Spoiler
it is.
alert, he won and he had the game-winning touchdown at the end of the game.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
What-
that's
spoilers.
I gotta change. That'd be in my top 5 longest yard.
Longest yard? It's a good one.
Come to the treehouse, you big dumb
See what
bitch.
happened?
Come to the treehouse.
Hey, I got a fantasy question for you boys.
All
I
right.
know we jump in if we haven't had many fantasy questions on the line today, so be sure to drop your fantasy question below and share the old video. I'm looking at a decision between Michael Gallup, Dallas wide receiver, who's playing Detroit, 21st worst defense in the league, 21st ranked defense in the league, passing, or Brian Hill, Atlanta running back at Carolina, 29th run defense in the league.
Brian Hill. Because Detroit, I think their secondary with Slay healthy, he'll be able to shut down Gallup. I know what you're saying. I think, I don't know, actually. I'm back and forth because I think
right.
Detroit will shut down
Well-
Gallup and let Cooper get some time, but I don't know.
I'd probably play Gallup, to be honest.
Really?
Wow.
Detroit
Big
has
Web?
I just Atlanta, yuck.
Detroit has D-line problems, and I think Gallup's going to be open because they'll have time to get open.
Right.
Gallup.
All right, so we have 2 for Gallup, 1 for Brian Hill. I tell you what, he was one of my fantasy plays this week. If you're looking for a running back on the waiver wire,
What about Miles Sanders? You got him on your bench.
I do have Miles
Lead
Sanders.
dog today. Jordan Howard's out.
Yeah, I did have both Howard and Sanders, so
Ooh.
I got my handcuff. I'm good to go.
Interesting.
Fantasy ad drop, since we're kind of jumping around. Jay Ajayi was signed by the Eagles, and he's going to play today.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I got one more question for fantasy. I got Darren Fells starting right now, or I got Dallas Goedert on the bench against New England.
I'll go Darren Fells.
Yeah, me too.
Because Fells is a starter. He's the
Goddard's-
guy. I mean,
yeah.
Goddard's number 2, but he's been getting a lot of
The Eagles
looks.
are playing
I have-
that New England defense.
And he
that's
got Ertz
just-
in front of him, too. So
I have him in my
Right.
dynasty
Fells
league.
is playing
We have
tough
like two. We played
defense,
2
too.
tight
Baltimore
ends.
defense.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. New England's defense. So I mean,
Hooper's hurt for me, so I gotta dig deep. You know what I mean?
I'd still go with Fells, though.
if you're
Yeah, I would too.
If you're looking for a not a handicap, but a guy who's on bye this week and good for playoffs is Darius Slayton, wide receiver for the New York Giants. With Ingram being injured and Sterling Shepard, I think, is still out with an injury, out indefinitely. Darius Slayton's been getting a lot of targets. Was their lead receiver last week?
Darius Slay's a defensive player.
No,
Slayton.
Darius
Slayton.
Slayton.
Oh, they said Darius
No.
Slay. I'm like, hold on a
Darius-
second.
Darius Slayton,
Gotcha,
wide
gotcha.
receiver for the Giants. Pick him up. Could be on the waiver wire. I think he's only rostered in like 20% of leagues. That could change because he's had back-to-back weeks with touchdowns before this bye week. So if you're looking for a wide receiver going into the playoffs, that's a good one to grab. Not many bye weeks left, so it might not be a major issue. But if you're dealing with an injury on your team and looking for a backup or a flex, he's a good play for sure. And I think Emmanuel Sanders is playing today, and so that I know was going to affect Deebo Samuel's workload, who I have in fantasy. So if you're looking for want to know if Emmanuel Sanders is going to play or not, he looks good. George Kittle, I think, doubtful, downgraded from questionable to doubtful, so he's out even though he's ready to go.
Another game time, fantasy thing. My parents were watching the show and actually texted me to see if David Montgomery, running back for the Bears, was going to play. From what I looked up, he's questionable.
Yeah, game time decision.
Limited practice Friday. Like one of the truly questionable guys. I think it's really 50-50.
Even if he does play, he's not going to get that heavy of a workload, and it sucks because he's in the 7 o'clock game. And so if you're looking just whether or not to start him, there's not going to be
in
you're
trouble.
kind of screwed. So you might be able to find a 3 o'clock running back on the waiver wire that maybe they'll get a decision in by the second round of games before the evening games, so you can get a better idea of if he's going to play or not. But again, he's either out, but if he does play, limited workload. So kind of a tough, only probably going to get you 4 or 5 points even if he is in there. So I definitely look for a guy on the waiver wire while you can.
So there you
on
go.
that, area.
Fantasy pickups of the week. Let's
And
go.
Nick Foles. Nick Foles,
Yeah,
too.
Nick Foles is actually
Which will
available in
lead
a lot of leagues.
lead into our picks here. Nick Foles in.
Real quick, want to go over last week in the BOTB Pick'em. So we had a new leader on top. Not overall, just in the
I was gonna
Pick'em.
say, I was like,
Mike Pappas with 9 wins last week.
Nice.
Congrats
Way
to
to go,
Mike.
Mike.
Nobody gets double digits last week. It was one of those weeks.
It was another tough week for sure. I know a lot of I think a couple games pushed, and then obviously our games we did okay in.
And Hessler's still on top at 86. Jake Scott is in second at 80. I'm tied with Wedwick in third at 79. Sherping, Joe Knoll, K. Roberts, and Nick Tolley at 75, tied in fifth. So it's getting close. There's a lot of good ones, but Hessler up by 6. Up by
Consistent.
6.
Mr. Consistency.
He is consistent.
And that's that is how you got to do it in this league. I mean, I don't think he's had he hasn't had less than 6 all season. From week 2 to week 5, he had 10. So that just goes to show the consistency. So whatever Mark's doing, if you know him,
Mark
maybe
will be in town from
sneak
Florida
in
the
there.
whole month of December.
Yeah, we'll have to have him on the show.
We'll have to get him in.
Absolutely. Get his top pick and see if he can make some get in on
Yeah.
big bet. Big
Give
West
us some
best
winners,
bet. Yeah.
Mark.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, man. Absolutely. All right, boys, it's the best time of the show. It's time to crown the king of last week. I think the deserving person finally should get it. It's right. It's back home. What a week for me. 5-1 last week, boys. 5-1 last week for me. On fire. Everybody takes triple lock. That's Seattle Seahawks triple lock plus 6.5. Love to see it.
That was stealing, wasn't it?
It was always great.
That was the best.
It was great.
That was the best play of the week. I think everybody and their mother was on that Seattle game besides Big Webb.
That's right.
6.5.
With such confidence.
6.5.
That's right.
I mean,
I was on the Niners.
Everybody just saw that as a trap game for San Francisco. So good job, TJ. I'll give it to you on that one.
Hey, thanks, Nick.
What a wild football game, though. Did you guys watch that whole
Yeah,
thing?
it was a
it was
good
a good
game.
one.
It was a great
It was
game.
back and
I'm
forth.
surprised you were up that late.
I did not have the balls to triple down on that like TJ did.
Yeah, I watched the end. Almost the end of it.
Almost.
Did you?
Fell asleep a
or
little late.
were we? I didn't know if we were recording then or not. I didn't watch Thursday
I
Night
watched
Football
part of it. Maybe I
or
watched the
Monday Night.
highlights. I don't remember. But anyway, I go 5-1. I'm 28-38. I move it over Zook, and I'm in second place now behind Nick, who goes 2-3. Nick is now 31-34. 31-34, Nick.
I'm trending in the wrong direction. I'm 2-12
I'm
in
right
my
there.
last 14, so I need to figure
How
it
far
out
behind am I?
because this is
You
inexcusable.
are at 26-39 as you go 3-3. Now Nick got lucky because he pushed on Buffalo
I
twice.
pushed on Buffalo twice. That saved
Yeah,
me. That saved me.
it
Thank
was
you.
Buffalo minus.
Double push. Otherwise, it could have been like me.
Otherwise,
That
it could have been
brutal.
disastrous.
Yeah, Big Web back to normal. 1-5.
That's not normal.
Had
If
Buffalo,
we go back to the beginning of the year, you were about 1-5 every week.
had Buffalo
normal.
lost,
You started out like 1 in 20.
yeah,
I did not start 1-20.
You were bad.
You did. It was pretty bad.
It was ugly.
We got tape. We can go back to the tape if you
Yeah,
like.
let's look at it.
It was
Okay,
I
want to
mean-
go relive that time?
I mean, but overall performance.
Never went over, though.
You know,
That's true. That's
it's a
true.
marathon, not a sprint. So there's
That's
going to be
right.
bumps along the way,
That's
but
right.
I'm still on top where I should be. So
Don't say that. Big Web's now
Get your
24,
head out of the gutter,
24 and
TJ.
41 on the year. So crown counter, I've got 4. This is my first one by myself, however. Zook's got 2. Nick's got 6. Big Web's also with 4. So pretty even, boys. We go into week 11. So let's get to the picks of the week.
yes,
First one we got, guys,
do it.
Jacksonville at Indianapolis as the Colts are minus 2.5 at home. What do you got?
I like Jacksonville. I think this is a spot where the Jags can come up big and get a win. I think that the Colts are one of those teams that tend to play up or down to their competition. They're one game better than Jacksonville right now, but with Nick Foles coming back, I think that he can, inject the energy and efficiency that offense has been lacking the last couple weeks as Minshew had started to have some rookie games. But it's still a top 5, top 10 defense over there in Jacksonville, and it'll be Brissett's first game back too, I believe. So I think the pass rush can get to him. I think they can halt the run game, which has really been, what Indy has leaned on for success. So I like Jacksonville today.
yeah. I mean, a Big Dick Nick back in there. I mean, Minshew Mania is over and Nick Foles is back. I mean, already ditched the Minshew jersey, hung it up for the season, and we'll get to it at another time. But Nick Foles, my guy, he's back in there. Jacksonville defenses look strong, even without Jalen Ramsey losing him to the Rams. So I like Jacksonville here a lot. I think, like Zook said, Indy's one of those teams that's a little bit hit or miss. Brissett's shown he's better than expected. I mean, he's one of the backup quarterbacks that has served in the place of Andrew Luck. Is he back this week, or is it still Hoyer?
It's Brissett.
It is Brissett. That's what I thought.
Brissett, yeah.
So he's a serviceable backup, but I like Jacksonville in this one.
Big Web?
Colts lost to Miami last week at home. And with Foles back, he's just got to stay healthy, man. If Foles stays
Yep.
healthy, they'll have a good finish to the year, I think. But this game, absolutely, I like Jacksonville also. Hilton's also out for Indy. And Indy just doesn't play the same when he's out, and they can't spread the field. So give me Jacksonville here plus the points.
Wow. I cannot believe we're having a clean sweep right here. Jacksonville, I'll also go with them. I am
So
shocked.
the Colts are going to win.
exactly right.
So
now I'm
Indy's
scared.
Oh.
Because this is, I
This is
thought
no
about this
fun.
being my lock, but I don't think so anymore.
I wanted to root for this game, and now that we're all in it.
I mean, I could literally,
It doesn't
to try to
matter.
play catch-up, I could literally just go the other way.
You
'cause I'm
could.
the last
I
picker guy,
would do
but
it if I was you,
can't.
to be
I'm
honest.
just
I
still
would
going
do it on
for
this
my
game.
pick. I'm going for it.
I would do it.
Oh, boy. All right. Everybody goes with Jacksonville. 2.5. I like Nick Foles today, man. Boring sweep. Houston at Baltimore. The Ravens are favored by 4.5 at home. Should be a good game. What do you guys got?
I like the Houston Texans in this football game in an upset. I like that I get points. I don't have, it's more of a kind of a feeling than any actual numbers or data to back it up. I think that the Texans are going to come ready to play. I think that as well as the Ravens have played, I think that they're bound to have a letdown game eventually. They played, the Pats 2 weeks ago. People thought maybe a letdown spot with the Bengals, and they had one of the best performances of the week last week. Texans are coming off of a bye, so I think that O'Brien's going to kind of throw the kitchen sink at him. I think Deshaun Watson is going to play one heck of a game. That is really kind of where my pick lies. I think Deshaun Watson's going to have a great game. I think he's due for a big-time win. I think that they can go into Baltimore and upset the Ravens. Also, if you look at this game, this might be for the 2 seed in the AFC.
There's a lot riding on this game for sure, and Baltimore's been hot all season. They're at home. Houston's a good team, but Houston's defense has been a little bit shaky, and their offense hasn't shown out. It could be a big game for Deshaun Watson to finally show up. I mean, Deshaun Watson's been consistent, but some of the other offensive players haven't been as consistent all season long. So I'm not really sure what Texans offense is going to show up. If the Texans offense does show up, I think it'll be a high-scoring affair, but I still like Baltimore at home. Lamar Jackson looks like, unreal. Ground, air, he's got it all working, and the Texans defense missing some players, so give me Baltimore at home in this one.
Big Web?
That's what I'm concerned about, too, is the Texans' defense right here. I mean, this is an amazing football game, though. Lamar Jackson against Deshaun Watson, and last time they played in college. What was it? Clemson against
Louisville,
and
yeah.
it was like high, 430 yards, I think, for Jackson, and 300 plus for Watson. So, no, I think it's going to be lights out, a great football game. The 4.5 is a tough number, but I just think all in all, when you look at the two different football teams, though, Baltimore's a much better team on both sides of the ball. Give me Baltimore here.
Man, this is one of the toughest games I think I've picked all year. I think this is really, really down the line a good one. I think the Ravens have the edge with their offense against the Texans' defense. J.J. Watt out for the year, all that. However, I think the spread at 4.5 is what scared me enough to go with the Texans. I'm going to take Houston, so we're split. I think they'll move the ball enough. I think that the Ravens will win the game. I think it could be a 3-point game, but it's going to be a late type of game, a good one, probably like 27-24 Ravens. But it doesn't matter. 4.5 is what Texans are getting. That's the number that scared me. If it was 3 or 2.5, I probably would have gone Ravens, but I'm going to take the Texans in this one.
To your point on the spread, the Texans have lost one game by more than a touchdown in the last 2 years, and it was the playoff game. They lost by 14. Could they lose by 7-6-5? Sure, but they could also lose by 4-3-2, and I honestly think it's about 50-50. They win the game, too, so I think there's value in the Texans.
I also love this teaser tonight, but even though I like Baltimore to win the football game and hopefully cover the 4.5, I love the 11.5 with a 7-point tease with Houston in this football game right here. So, and I cannot believe this game's not on Sunday Night Football. I cannot believe that at all. It's like, come on, what is it, the Rams and the Bears tonight?
Mm-hmm. It's the Rams and the Bears.
Is this the last week that you're not allowed to flex games? And that might be why.
Probably.
Yeah, because preseason, that was a great game probably.
Oh, okay. So
Bears-Rams.
Right, it was already scheduled,
Two reigning division champions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. We're split. So me and Zook got the Houston Texans, and Nick and Big Web have Baltimore. Move on. The rematch of Super Bowl 50.
Who were they
a couple
playing?
years ago.
New England and Philly. Sorry.
Super Bowl a couple years
52.
ago.
52. Okay. New England and Philly.
Don't quote me on that.
The Eagles are getting 4.5 at home. Probably the lowest spread we've seen against New England this season. I think it is. What do you guys got?
I'm taking the Patriots here. I love a good revenge game narrative whenever Bill Belichick's the coach. I think that he will, forever have disdain for the Eagles for losing to Nick Foles in the Super Bowl. I think that they'll come out ready to play. Plus, to your point, TJ, very low spread, like 3.5 points. So
4.5, yeah.
There's value in the Patriots this week. So I don't feel like fantastic about it. It's just I'm kind of done betting against the Pats.
Yeah, I've missed one on the Patriots, but I've been on the Patriots all year long. Time to go back on the Patriots again. I think they'll cover this one easy. The Eagles, even though they have a potent offense, and both teams are coming off a bye week, so that's going to be interesting. They both had an extra week to prepare for this game. Eagles are at home, but Carson Wentz really hasn't shown me anything all year. I mean, he's a good quarterback, but the protection from the line hasn't really been there. No Jordan Howard tonight, so Miles Sanders is going to be the lead back there. So if you got Miles Sanders in fantasy, a good play there.
Damn right it is.
But I think the Patriots are still going to cover this one. Even if they get a lead, they're still going to keep scoring. They're not going to slow down. Bill Belichick's going to go full gas in this game, especially, like Zook said, revenge game. They're going to take them down, I think, easy in this one.
Big what? There's that word easy again. Every time Nick wears easy,
exactly.
it says easy.
I'm going to jump on that word easy right now, and I'm going to go with the Eagles, and I'll tell you why. The New England's defense was exposed last week against Baltimore and a couple weeks ago, whatever the hell it was. But anyway,
2 weeks ago.
These guys, Philly has found a running game, and they're going to run. They're going to throw outside. They might go double tight end sets. I think you're going to see a lot of ground time for Philly and clock management. Give me Philadelphia here.
I'm going to go the Patriots. I was on the side that I think the Eagles were going to play tough because they want to show the Patriots that they're still the same type of team as they were 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl. But that was with Nick Foles. Carson Wentz has been kind of a letdown this year so far. And the thing is, Dad, I thought the same thing, that we saw a lot of gaps that the Ravens kind of showed that the Patriots have in their defense. However, Lamar Jackson was the guy that made it happen. Carson Wentz is not nearly as mobile as Lamar Jackson, so I think that the Patriots will be able to do good on defense. I'm surprised the number's here. I was expecting it to be 6.5, 7.5. The fact that it's here, I think it's a no-brainer for the New England Patriots, so I'll take the Pats as well. So Dad is left on an island with the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's where I need to be.
Which
right?
it is fun when you need to make a run, you know what I mean?
That is where you
So-
need to be, yep.
That's it.
Last one we got in the top 4 games, we got Kansas City at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are at +4 at home against KC. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's in Mexico City.
That's right.
Mexico City.
Do they have a soccer stadium down there in Mexico City?
That's probably where they are. Yeah, I'm sure.
I like the Kansas City Chiefs in
Oh, you're
this
not picking
one.
the Chargers?
I don't
Crazy.
love the pick because, I love my Chargers. But I'll stick with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are very clearly one of the best teams in football, even with their injuries. Their offense is just so potent and so dominant. With Patty, he should be getting a little bit healthier as the weeks go on, and he's still not going to be 100% down in Mexico. And I do worry about the pass rush of the Chargers against the offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs with Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram. I think that they can put a lot of heat on Mahomes. However, I think Mahomes can handle it. So I like the Chiefs to cover this spread and win the game. It's a neutral site too, so not really a true home game for the Chargers. So if Vegas is factoring it, like giving the Chargers 4 points like it was a home game, I think that that's probably inaccurate. I think that the Chiefs can win this one by 7-10 points.
Yeah, I mean, with Mahomes in there, the Chiefs are one of the best offenses in the NFL, and so I think they take this one down. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for them. I think Chargers have shown they're a little bit better than their record will show so far this year. They play teams close, but Kansas City is one of those teams that's lost a couple big games this year and really needs every win they can get from here on out to secure that division. Because I mean, even they got Oakland right there at 5-4, breathing down their neck, and KC's 6-4. So they need to win these games to secure the AFC West. So give me Kansas City in this one, especially with it being a division game.
Big Web.
Last 2 weeks, Chargers scored 26 and 24 points. The 26-point game was against the Packers when the Packers decided not to get off the damn bus. So then the next week they scored 24, but that was against Oakland, who's more of a mediocre defense also, similar to Kansas City. So I see the Chargers scoring in mid-20s, and I think the KC's still going to have more than that on offense. So I see a high-scoring football game here. Give me Kansas City minus the points and look hard at that over.
Yeah, I'm also going to take Kansas City. I just think they have a lot to prove, too. I mean, I don't think anybody expected them to be 6-4 right now through 10 weeks. I think they really want to be able to just move the football. Mahomes is, I mean, after injury, too, he came back. It didn't look great last week. Didn't look like he usually does. And they gave up a lot of points, like Dad said, to Tennessee. So I think they bear down in this game. I think they have to win by a pretty good margin. And the number is just too low. So I'm also going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. Real quick, we go to the Toilet Bowl game of the week. We have the New York Jets heading out to Washington. Poor Jets. They're always in there, man. They're always there.
Every week.
A weekly Toilet Bowl member. This is going to absolutely shock you guys. It's one of my favorite games of the week from a picking standpoint.
What?
I love the Jets in this game. I think the Redskins honestly might be worse than the Bengals with Dwayne Haskins at quarterback. I think that they really might be. If Dalton was starting for the Bengals instead of this Finley guy, I think I'd feel more confident in that. But they're one of the worst teams in football. The Jets, while they are also terrible, have at least shown the ability to play football at times. They have a franchise quarterback now that is hit or miss and a young guy, but he's at least proven that he can throw the ball. What do the Redskins do well? The only thing that they can do well, because they sure as hell can't pass it, they now run the football. So you look at the Jets, who are second in the NFL in DVOA against the run. So they won't be able to do that. If you look at the Redskins in the last 6 weeks, they have been outgained by almost 800 yards in the last 6 weeks.
That's a lot.
They are minus 47 first downs in the last 6 weeks. That is, for an aggregate of, they're getting outgained by about a football field per game. They're also gaining about 8 less first downs per game than their opponents. I love the Jets this week.
Nick?
I like the Jets.
Takes care of that. I tell you what, this game stinks. It smells worse than Zook's kitchen floor after Lulu comes through.
Nice.
You look at the injury report here for the Jets, and it's about a paragraph long. So, with that being said, give me the Skins.
Interesting.
Split.
Great. No, I'm taking the Jets.
Oh.
Not really any reason to it. The one thing I did look at for real, though, if this means anything, I read Matthew Berry's column this week, the ESPN Fantasy Insider, that Jamison Crowder's coming back to the Redskins since the first time that he's been gone and not playing in a Redskins uniform.
Revenge game.
So watch out for a big fantasy day from him. That could be a nice DFS little spot there. Darnold going to Jamison Crowder for a big day. So, yeah, I'm taking the Jets for really no reason. Just taking them. Okay, so we move on to
I'm on an island there, too.
Yeah, this could be your week, man.
the Redskins. Good luck.
Hey.
Have fun with that.
Any island's a good island.
If you get this one, I'll salute you.
There you
I
go.
won't be mad about it.
Okay, underdog picks of the weeks. Underdog picks of the week. Ugh. Go ahead.
Underdog, not locks. Underdog.
Underdog.
I'm going to take the Jets. I'm going to double pick the Jets. I think that they're going to win this football game. I think it's fairly obvious they're going to win this football game. I love the fact that they're getting points in this. I almost took the Denver Broncos because they were plus 10.5 at the time earlier this week. I don't know what it is now. But did you know that Mike Zimmer, against the spread since he's been hired as the Minnesota head
10.
coach, has hit against the spread 79% of the time?
Really?
Whether it's like covering
Holy
or
cow.
Covering as a winner or a loser.
Yeah.
He has gone off against
Really?
the spread. So I almost picked Denver, but I'll stick with the Jets. I like the Jets more this week.
All right, Nick, what do you got?
I am going with the Cincinnati Bengals this week. 10.5's a lot for the Oakland Raiders to cover. And I think, is that what the spread's at right now still?
I believe.
Tell me it's more.
Carry the one.
Tell me it's 10.5.
It's 12.5.
It's 12.5 now?
Yep.
I love that. That's fantastic. Good for me, because there's no way the Raiders are going to cover that. The Bengals
Save that. Good for
are
me.
the worst team in the NFL by a lot and don't have a good quarterback, but they do have a good running back in Joe Mixon. Look for a big day from him. They are going to run the ball a lot. They do still have some good weapons at wide receiver, and their defense is terrible. So I think Oakland still wins this by a touchdown, maybe even 10, but I don't think they can get the 2 touchdowns to cover.
Mixed in with 30 carries last week, by the way.
Just
So
feed the ball,
he could be
run,
another DFS
feed the ball, run the
monster.
clock. Feed
Monster.
the ball, run the clock.
That could happen, absolutely.
Big what?
Feed the ball, run the clock.
I like the Bucks. I like the Bucks as an underdog plus the points. You know, New Orleans
Jameis
just
will throw 4
isn't-
interceptions, but
New Orleans is not clicking on all cylinders, even on defense. They're not putting it together right now. I don't know what the problem is. They lost at home bad last week. Give me the Bucks plus the points in Tampa.
Big Web's just pissed that New Orleans screwed him last week when Atlanta beat him
Yeah.
outright. That's why that you're going right after the Saints this
AK.
week.
Back.
By the way,
it's a big week.
I lied. I got my numbers mixed up in my head. Minnesota's 58, 34, and 1 against the spread since Zimmer took over. That's 63%, not 79. That sounded a little rich when I said
Now
it.
he's getting down to my
yeah,
level.
79%.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
79 would be
Zimmer's
too much.
got some money on the game.
Yeah, I mixed it up. 63% though, still damn good.
Still really good. I'm going to take the Texans. It does scare me against Baltimore, but I really, truly think that's going to be a 3-point game. Either way, they could win outright, too. They're a good football team.
yeah.
So the fact that it's in Baltimore scares me a little bit, but of the board, this is a tough week for underdogs, in my opinion. So I'm going to take Houston plus 4.5. And, boys, finally, we got the locks of the week.
I went back and forth on this one. I almost went triple lock like you, TJ, but I can't do it. I'm going to
Wow,
take the
the Jets?
Cowboys on the road against the Lions to cover their spread and defeat Jeff Driscoll and the Detroit Lions.
It's not a bad pick.
My girlfriend's parents are actually at that game today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Watching old Hawkinson.
There you go.
Thanks.
Good. All
Catch
right.
the pigskin.
Thanks for the useless intel.
I dig that. All right.
I think Zook and I have, again, like almost every single same pick this week except for our underdog, and I only changed it because Zook picked the one I was going to pick. No, I was still on the Bengals. I'm also on the Cowboys as the lock of the week to take down the Lions. Jeff Driscoll showing me nothing. He actually showed me a little bit of something last week for the Lions, but I think the Cowboys 3.5. Too easy for Cowboys.
Is that word easy
there's
again?
word easy.
You are
So-
in trouble,
so
Zook.
look
Ding, ding, ding,
out.
ding.
Yep.
No, because
Can I change?
I think I said guarantee is when I do well. I guarantee
No,
the
you say
Patriots
easy.
win.
On the 0-7 video,
no,
you said
no,
easy.
No, I know. I say easy, and then they end up losing. When I say guarantee, that's when they win. So I'm not guaranteeing this one, but I'm saying it is going to be an easy win for the Cowboys. That means guaranteed to be
That means
lost.
guaranteed.
Guaranteed it's going to be lost. No, different words. Different words.
My God. Kansas City is my lock of the week. I think they're going to outscore the Chargers in Mexico. Simple as that. Give me the Chiefs.
I'm going to go with a team we have not even talked about today, the Carolina Panthers.
Carolina
going up. I
Panthers.
think that Atlanta's still fake. I mean, I think that's just one of those games last week where you have a team. I gave Big Web the Panthers. Hold on a
saw
second.
that going
My
on.
bad.
Oh, my
I
God.
got you.
Don't.
Just to make sure.
TJ's trying to finagle some things
Big
here
Web's
later.
got the Chiefs. There we go. See, I did a little
TJ's trying
switcheroo
to
there.
hedge his
Very good.
bets so he can get another
Very
crown
good.
and try to beat me.
I'll take Carolina -4. I think Atlanta's still not a good team. Hooper's out. Hooper is not going to be here
Hooper
probably for the next 3 weeks, honestly.
out.
So that takes
Big
a
loss.
big part of their
Big
offense out. Huge loss.
Devontae Freeman's also out.
Yeah,
and
so-
their backup, Ito Smith, is out.
So they're Brian. What's his name?
Brian
again?
Hill, third string running back.
Did all right last week, but I don't know.
Quadri Allison.
It's only 4. That's a small. I mean, Carolina's the real deal. I mean, McCaffrey's probably gonna be running all over the place.
Yeah, you
so-
gotta think. You gotta
they have
think.
they have a key beer vendor out as well that in that
Key-
stadium.
Okay, well that
Yeah.
well,
Are they-
that guy usually gets them pumped up.
Are
I
they
mean,
in Atlanta? Are they in Atlanta? Are they,
They're in Carolina.
They're in Carolina.
So that's
Yeah.
What's
good for
Kyle
them.
Allen's record in Carolina?
Kyler Allen?
Kyler
Allen.
I always say Kyle Allen.
I don't know. It's pretty good.
Kyler Allen.
Kyler Allen.
Kyler Murray doesn't get Kyler back until he's he beats out
he's Kyle Murray.
He's
If he
Ky-
beats the 49ers,
he's
say
Kyle
he can
Murray.
beat Kyler Murray again.
No, Kyler Allen gets to keep the name until further notice.
All right, guys. So there's our locks of the week. And there's our picks of the week for Week 11. Before we wrap it up, we have Big Web's best bet of the week.
Share.
Dad, where are
Share.
we at right now?
Right now we broke even last week basically. We hit the over in the Kansas City game, and we covered our teaser, which did not hit. So we're at plus 190.
Nice.
Plus
Nice.
190. Still positive money in the bank for the year,
That's good.
and we're in week 11, so it's pretty good.
Good deal.
Solid.
So what we got
All right.
this week?
So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go over on the Chiefs. Right now it's 52 points. 52 points. Take the over Monday night for $50. 50 rainbows. Then
50 shekels.
so here's a teaser for you. This is a big one. 50
Listen up.
50 shekels pays $250.
Nice.
And you guys are going to like these games because we talked about almost all of them. There's only one you're not going to be perfect on, but Dallas Cowboys, buy it down to a pick 'em.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Bucks plus 12.5. Minnesota Vikings -3. Arizona Cardinals plus 17.5. Philadelphia Eagles plus 12.5. Kansas City Chiefs plus 3. And that over in the Chargers Chiefs, they'd be over 45. When you tease that all down, 50 pays 250.
Wow.
There it is.
Love to see it. Big Web's best bet of the week. He's
Guarantee
still positive
that.
on your
Guarantee
initial
that.
investment through 10 weeks. You're already still positive
You're
money.
still making money.
So listen
all
to the
about
man.
the cash.
Listen to the man.
To the man.
One more shout out to our great sponsors, Cafe Telegraph here, 2650 Telegraph Road, the best smoked meats in town. Come on down. We'll be here all day watching football on their amazing big screens here in the great Cafe Telegraph studios. We can call it Cafe Telegraph Studios
Cafe
until
Telegraph
we break all this
Studios.
stuff down.
Yes,
so.
for sure.
Also, shout out K. Roberts Remax Gold. Give her a call today, 314-409-4113, the best real estate agent in St. Louis. Family Finance Mortgage, Sarah Barron, 314-537-1282. That's 314-537-1282. And St. Louis Distillery. Find them online at stldistillery.com. Boys, anything else?
We got to get that
Title-
order in for Zook's Wings.
Yeah, I need to place my wing order.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. What,
Just
smoked
pla-
par
just
fried?
place-
Smoked par
it up.
fried,
Ranch?
buffalo, on
Yes,
the wings.
the
I do
kitchen-
not
the
eat
wings.
them
The
on
kitchen
the
will
side.
hear it.
Put
The
them
kitchen will
on
hear
the
it.
wings.
You want ranch on the side?
Yeah, hey, Christian, need some par fried wings, man.
Got it. All right.
Buffalo, not on the side, on the wings.
On the wing.
All right. For Big Web, for Nick, for Zook, I'm TJ. We'll see you next week.